everybody. Welcome to WOTM's videocast. My name is Jaclyn, and I'm the president of Women of Today's Manufacturing. And I have a special guest here with us today. Her name is Becca Peterson. She is a sales executive for QPS Employment Services. So QPS offers different employment services for areas that cover several states and locations. Primarily, Becca is responsible for Rockford, Beloit, and Janesville. But Becca, tell me more about your coverage area for the company as a whole.
Sure. So QPS offers services across 5 states. Our hub is definitely Wisconsin, but Northern Illinois for sure. Our Rockford branch is one of the largest in the companies. And then branches all throughout Wisconsin, Iowa, a few in Indiana, and 2 in Illinois. We offer services for, mainly our focus is manufacturing. And I think what makes us special is that we have 4 different divisions that give us the ability to staff from the shop floor positions to a separate division that works on only, professional and upper level needs. So we don't try to have the same recruiter having the conversation, with that packaging candidate, and then also trying to have a conversation with an engineer. It's not the most successful recipe. So I specifically help employers connect with awesome people, and I do represent all 4 divisions. That's my job.
Well, I'm happy that you're here. I want to really dig in. Obviously, the world has seen a lot of challenges in the past month, and I think we're continuing to see a lot of issues in relation to labor and unemployment rates increasing, and companies having to either increase their staffing levels or cut back on their staffing levels. So I'm gonna rely on you as the expert to tell me and our audience some of the trends you're seeing overall, I guess locally and then
Sure.
Probably nationally too.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been emotionally challenging, I think, for all of us. What I've really seen from companies is their desire to really put their arms around their employees and do whatever they can to hold on to as many people as possible. With the market being as difficult as it was to find good people, the companies, they don't want to lose them now. So we're seeing, for the most part, companies really trying to hold on to their staff, all the way from those entry-level general laborers, many of our temps, through their main staff. That was the first few weeks of it. I wasn't seeing a lot of losses. The last week or two, it's like employers, okay, they've held on for this long. Now they're starting to maybe cut a few numbers. So we are seeing the cuts. I mean, we're seeing it nationwide with record levels of unemployment. We're hearing it in terms of furloughs with people that will be brought back when the market recovers and orders pick up again, to people that unfortunately may not be. Sorry.
It's definitely, no, it's fine. Exciting and scary times if you look at it. But I think overall the general feeling is fear. So I think one of the conversations that this region has had for a while is how to fill the skills gap in the mid-level employment needs for a lot of manufacturers in the area. So now, what does that look like? Are employers starting to rethink the type of employees that they're looking at, or provide different types of training so that, we do have an influx now of a lot of available workers. So what are some creative things that you see happening with employers to be able to help fill that gap right now?
Yeah, Absolutely. And more of the general labor sense of things, we've seen employers be, very open to people with different backgrounds. Before it was send me someone from manufacturing. Now it's, hey, I'd be open to speaking with someone who was a line lead at McDonald's. Obviously a lot of those types of places are pretty slow right now. So we're seeing a lot of openness from employers. As far as, someone in that more mid or upper level of skill, what I would really encourage them to do is connect, with a professional recruiter and kind of hone in on some of those skills that could be kind of transitional and applicable to different industries. And the recruiter can kind of help maybe restructure a resume, make some changes to kind of really highlight some of those skills that maybe they used in another job, but it wasn't their primary function. So I think, right now our recruiters have time to really sit down and consult and take that kind of consultative approach, have a virtual coffee, and help with a resume, a cover letter, and kind of how to present the candidate to the employer. And we're on both sides of the coin. So we know what's important to the employer, and we can help prep the candidate so they can speak to that and frame, kind of figure out how to frame their skills so that it best relates to the position.
Yeah. All right. So, Becca, tell me, are there any things that you have to recommend, some tips and tricks from a job seeker perspective that can help give them some better leverage in trying to find a new role or position or even career?
Yeah, absolutely. So LinkedIn, if you don't have an account, get one, and follow every company in town that would be, kind of that dream company to work for. Those companies are posting kind of ways that they're helping impact the community right now. I saw that Hormel Foods was donating, $1 million of food. If you're interested in working at Hormel, what a cool thing to be able to bring, to the HR manager over there. So follow all those companies on LinkedIn. They also may post a job there before it would even go out to a job board. Another really cool online tool, it's a job board where basically all the major job boards get filtered into, and it's called gojobhero.com. So a job search can be really stressful, especially under these current circumstances. So to not be having to check 5 different job sites, because there are a lot of them, you can just get on this one centralized location, put in the type of career that you're looking for in the city, and it will pull them in from the big boards. So some interesting tools. And then also, lean on employment groups, lean on us. We're definitely here. We desire to spend that time with you. It's part of our metrics to connect with people. So you're helping us by connecting with us, and our desire is truly to help the candidates and then match those candidates with awesome employers. So lean on us and lean on other employment agencies out there, by calling and emailing and making that introduction. And then, relying on your LinkedIn network. Right now, a lot of us feel a little vulnerable, and it's okay to ask for help. So, reach out, private message people, shoot them an email and say, hey, who do you know that these resources could be valuable for? Maybe you could work on a contract basis. Maybe you could just do a few hours of work for a company a week. There's a lot of creative ways right now to get plugged in.
So then what kind of tips and tricks would you give to employers looking for candidates to join their labor force?
Sure. I think it's important to know, it's always been important to know the position that you're hiring for, but now more than ever, if you're consolidating multiple roles into one, make sure to understand the exact role that you're hiring for, even if it's a 3-in-1. And make sure to be really clear with either the employment group that you're working with or with the candidates that you're speaking to, because no one wants to walk into a situation where they think they're being hired for one role and then find out it's really so much more. So I think it's just important to get your leadership on the same page as far as the role that you're hiring for. Get realistic wage in place for that role. So if it could be multiple roles in one, maybe that wage needs to increase. So know your wages, be clear and open about the role so that you can, obviously it's important to get the right person. And then I think it's also important to be proactive for employers to not just think about now, but think about what's coming in 6 months. Certain industries are going to go gangbusters when this lifts. So are you ready for that? So kind of know your game plan of your maybe 3 and 6 month hires that you're shooting for, and put a plan in place so that you're on track to make those hires and you're not scrambling once everything opens up to try to find those people.
So I think given the state of COVID and things that are happening, could you speak to us about some of the trends? What industries are starting to lay more people off or furlough their employees? And then on the flip side, what industries do you see really needing employees in the next 3 to 6 months?
Sure. Well, I've personally seen a number of people that are in non-essential, what may be considered now non-essential healthcare functions, like maybe dental or surgical, like elective surgeries, either having a lot less hours or being laid off. Those people may look at some other options within manufacturing and just kind of keep an eye on what's open out there to see if their skills, could translate into a different industry. Industry is booming. I mean, it's been amazing to see certain companies pivot their product line to be able to produce those face shields, to produce face masks right now. So there are a number of companies a little north of Rockford that are kind of pivoting and changing their product line, and they've done it like that. Also, industry is booming after this. Right now, I know a lot of people buying puppies. So I know it's not an expert opinion, but it'll be interesting to see that pet care industry really boom. And obviously, healthcare suppliers are probably going to continue to remain busy. And then safety is definitely forefront of everyone's minds. We're seeing people buying a lot of PPE and just trying to keep the plant clean. So a lot of cleaning positions, janitorial companies, I think could be very busy. And so that's something that QPS is now offering as well. As a result of this, is they're allowing us to staff cleaners. So yeah, I think a lot of companies are just trying to continue to adjust with these times and expand their services to answer the needs out there.
So I think one of the things that is important to recognize is WOTM supports advancing career pathways for women in manufacturing. There has been traditionally a gap in skills and needs in kind of mid-level roles. So with people in other industries finding themselves maybe laid off or furloughed, do you have any advice or encouragement for women to rethink or consider going into manufacturing?
Absolutely. I've personally been involved in the manufacturing world, mostly through staffing for the last 8 years, but my family also owns 2 manufacturing companies in the area. So I just couldn't imagine my world any other way. I love manufacturing. I'm very passionate about it. I partner with a lot of women, not only in the HR functions, but also in the plant, female plant managers throughout, Rockford, Janesville. So I would definitely encourage women to, if you're not already in that field, to step into it and just to explore, have conversations with people you might be connected with on LinkedIn that you see are in maybe supervisory or plant management functions, and kind of find out, where did they start? Because we do all have to start somewhere. And then, maybe look into your educational options with different programs out there. So I think the first step, though, is just really having some conversations and then determining your next best step. Is it school? Is it just connecting with that recruiter, helping them, reframe your resume, and putting yourself out there? And we have some really great marketing tools of ways that we connect with employers on a weekly basis to present candidates. So we really are willing to work with anybody that has great skills and attributes that would be a good asset for local manufacturing companies. So for sure, I think people can just stay encouraged that manufacturing is a field right now more than ever that I think will continue to grow as we try to keep more and more work, here stateside. So,
Right. Yeah. One of the things that, at least connecting with our network, is that the manufacturers in our area, they're still working. They're really pushing through this and, rethinking operations from a level of safety.
yeah,
But people are busy, and
yeah,
that's a really positive thing for us in this area and for manufacturing overall.
yeah,
So I
I
think there are
absolutely agree.
opportunities.
Yeah, most of our manufacturing clients are considered essential. And it's amazing. You may think, oh, that's not essential, but they have to keep the supply chain going to keep the essential employers going. So I totally agree. Manufacturing is strong, it's busy, and a lot of people are adding right now. So it's a good place to live.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time and all of your expertise. Do you have any other resources that would be helpful for, I guess, anybody looking for a job or looking for employees?
Yeah, so I think definitely our free wage analysis that we can offer. We have subscriptions to all the big websites. So right now I'm offering free wage data to either people looking for work so that they know their ask and they know if it's the right ask for the market right now. And then also for employers who might have key positions that they're looking to hire for. So I can pull that wage data for either employers or employees. And then I would just encourage either or to reach out to me if there was a key position, or if I can get you connected with one of our professional recruiters to help with a resume and to help get you connected within our network. So yeah, I'm here as a resource. I'm here to help.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank
At
you.
the end of the day, we're all people are people, and we're all in this together. So
Absolutely.
we, on behalf, like WOTM, values QPS and their commitment and membership and engagement with us. And so I really appreciate your time. For those of you who want more information, I will post that at the end of our video so that you can get in contact with Becca Peterson at QPS. So I'll
Awesome.
see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Hope it
Bye.
helps.